Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Game to the Max and part 12 of our Hearts of Iron 4, the Old World Blues Enclave Redux mod. So, in the last episode, we had gotten declared war on by the Washington Brotherhood. They declared war on Murtaugh Reformers, who are one of our puppets. So, we are kind of um, in a bad situation right now, especially with having no troops up here in the north. So, we're going to have to move all of our troops that are spread out down south up north to fight off the Washington Brotherhood. Um, we did a bunch of our focuses, including rebuilding part of our navy. We right now are doing our voting rights up here, and then trying to get free elections done so we can just knock out the unstable government. We won't be doing the Nation Reborn just yet because we need to finish up the Farson project and United We Stand. Because when we do this, we get some choices that are going to come up. So we need to finish up here with rebuilding. We need to finish the couple up here, and then I also want to make peace with the Brotherhood of Steel and talk to Canada. So finish up pre-elections. Maybe come down here in our northern domain or Dominion, not domain, our Northern Dominion, talk to the Canadians. And then we do need to start doing our Commonwealth project. I think the only one we can do right now is decisions related to the fate of California and the new United States. So we'll see. But with this, we need to get all of our troops up here to the north. And if you're curious of how I make these battle lines that don't have individual generals shown, because like if I just click, you get individual generals and then their areas. If you just want to make one large, just regular battle line with everybody intermixed, you hit Control Shift and then you click in, and you get all 118 divisions moving north. I have an army right here under is it Captain Boone or Commander Boone, who's going to move forward. I also need to bring over Ulysses and his troops. So again, you just Control Shift, and that will add them onto. So you got 138 there. Perfect. With that, we're gonna pop in a new Citizens Care package, restart our scavenging mission because that ended since we didn't have any money, and we'll do power armor, and then we'll do no orders so they just can pick about stuff. And then yeah, I think that's good. And then here in 28 days and 59 days, we'll incorporate Murtaugh's Reformers and Eagle Rock over here. And all right, without a further ado, let's start on up. Washington Brotherhood. Yeah, so they're going to bring in the Portsmouth, Broken Coast, themselves.
What the hell is this? The president?
Have the line pointing north. We still don't have any construction. Oh, I lied. We've got 13 factories back. The Voting Rights Act, even before the Great War, the executive branch, and by extension the Enclave, stripped away most power of America's legislative branch. Congress on the rig was nothing more than the vestigial organization kept on by veiling the nepotism of the elite. Today, however, Congress has officially returned with representatives from various census-designated locales to senators from the states and commonwealths. Despite not being in the official duties, the president presided over the first acts of Congress of the United States, who immediately enacted a series of laws designated to check the executive powers branch. Democracy in action, we get Congress Reborn, which grants military to civilian factory aversion costs negative 50% and daily compliance gain plus 0.01. And then we need to go to war against these people for the new Farson area. So, our bros, takes me 110 days to get that, so. And then we'll do free elections. Our troops are moving. We lost a little bit of territory there. naval cruise successful. We read this in the last one, so I'm gonna just skip reading this one over. But if you guys would like to read it, be my guest. We get 30 naval experience, but we lose negative 26 manpower. So, and then we'll do an anti-pirate patrol. We can sponsor an expedition of the followers to Lone Tree. Yeah, sure, it's only 2 political power.
Enclave here.
There's the Frank Horrigan armor. Oh, that looks so cool. Alright, I think most of my army has made it. Give them a couple days, and then we'll push forward. God bless you. A sniffle, a sneeze, a fever. Horrible, horrible bleeding. Since the outbreak of the war with the Legion, the people of New Canaan and their tribal allies have been getting sick with the plague called the Utah flu, which seems somehow similar. It's not surprising that a plague broke out among a wasteland army, but it's rather surprising that it doesn't affect Kaiser's men. Are our troops safe? I wonder if we can protect our own troops against it. The Utah flu worsens. President granted, it turns out the Utah flu is actually a virulent strain of the FEV that Kaiser likely picked up from the Enclave defectors. The Legion's deploying it in Utah and offering the cure to those who submit. Hopefully our scientists can figure out a way to protect our own men, but it's hard to see how the new Canaanites will survive this disaster. Canaan in exile, Unitah, Crazy Horns, Tar Walkers, Sorrow's Apostles, Crazy Horns again. Lone Tree, Murtaugh's Reformers, and Dead Horse Apostles get division of organization negative 30%, monthly population negative 500%, division attrition plus 100%, stability negative 30%, division attack and defense negative 30%. What sort of monsters uses a bioweapon? And the AFN News, end of the Oregon pirate era. The pirates of the Mall have been a terror of the northern waters for decades now, having tangled every major navy from New Victoria to New California. Time and again, they would raid up and down the coast, and every ship sunk, 3 more would appear. The Hydra of Oregon was deemed nigh impossible to defeat until the Enclave Reconstruction Authority's Navy arrived on the scene. In a series of pitched battles, America's brave and valiant sailors fought the dread pirates on the open ocean and even in daring boarding actions both on Enclave Reconstruction Authority naval vessels and the pirate ships of the Maw. Now only the Enclave Reconstruction Authority Navy remains, with the bulk of the Port Maw's pirate fleet sunk to the bottom of the cold northern Pacific, feasted upon by ghoul whales and the occasional northern kraken. A spokesperson for the Navy today said, "Let this be a lesson to anyone who wishes to fight the Navy. We will not quit until our shores are secured and our enemies vanquished from the Emerald Oceans. Gain 6% war support and 50 Navy experience." Very nice. All right. We shall order. Get you awareness. We get you, before we kick this off, Mysterious Stranger and Inspirational. And Ulysses, you will also get Mysterious Stranger, also get Inspirational, and I will give you reconnaissance. There we go. And push. Look at all that green. It's beautiful. Oh yeah, trade. Can I trade anybody for anything? Start using my only factories just to get supplies. Once we take them over, it won't matter. At least start building some things. Airbase at Klamath Falls. Kingsley Field Air Force Base has seen its storied history, though not all that great. Originally a naval air station, it served in this role throughout World War II before being turned over to the Air Force as Kingsley Field, and then further subdivided into a civilian airport. However, in the 2060s, subversive activists in the Oregon Air National Guard stole several fighter jets and used them to bomb transports headed for Alaska, setting our liberation of Alaska back months. In a scathing review, it was discovered that much of Oregon was given over to subversive communist activities, and the state was locked down as this cancer was eradicated. By the time the bombs fell, this was still ongoing. Post-war, the base saw little use as much of the wasteland outside of California and Texas had no real need for an Air Force, let alone understanding of one. The Air Force has restored its working order, however, and is ready to bring the fight to Washington. Oregon is weird. Improves air attack in each generation. Never been to Oregon, but I'm not going to argue with them. If the game says Oregon's weird, let it be weird. Legion raiding party spotted. We've had a bunch of those. Pre-elections is done.
Got you.
And let's do bring in the New World and our Northern Dominion, since we're already fighting up here in the north.
That's a no one. Outstanding.
Trying to close that pocket off before they get these guys. Come on, close it, close it, close it, close it, close it. Ah, we didn't close it in time. Oh, I still think we got them.
Just dispatched a birdie assault team to your location. One moment. What was that?
I'm gonna pop last stand so that this unit doesn't die right here. Whispers of hope, despite our current precarious position, though those who have taken to our American dream, whispers of a new dawn are spoken with no NCR loyalists in the room. Swords of a president who can sway even his bitter enemies with words and his incorruptible soul. Ask not what your government can do for you. Gain 5% stability and 100 political power, or I need you for the U.S. Army. Let's do the political power and stability. Area 51. With Area 51 under our control, Enclave scientists are shifting through the realm of pre-war data. It appears the pre-war United States was monitored by vast intellects, cool and unsympathetic, and their technology was studied by the military. We could pick this research up, and there may be consequences. Let us press every button we can find. Get plasma weaponry and plasma weaponry schematics. And we got traders from even farther. A trade ship docked in Dago last night bearing markings unknown to anyone in the waste. An orange, white, and green flag flew from its bow, and its crew began marketing strange spices, foods, and fruits we've never seen before. When questioned by port authorities on their origins, the shipmaster claimed to be a place called India. While most wastelanders mistook it for the pre-war state of Indiana, we do know India was overrun by communist Chinese back in 2050. Looks like they too managed to claw back from the brink. The ship remains in port for the next few weeks to take on provisions and fuel before setting off to parts of the unknown. Is the Taj Mahal still standing? Gain plus 0.40k US dollars. Gains Indian spices, consumer goods negative 6%, and weekly stability plus 3% for 200 days. Or have the Navy escort them out. Nope. Get the Indian spices. And Van Graff's request a lower tariff. I mean, we could. Sure.
Excellent.
Legion raiding party spotted.
Those paper shuffling jackasses. How the hell do they expect me to run this unit if they keep shortchanging me on supplies? This is Enclave Maincom. That's a no one.
Come on, boys.
Enclave here.
Navy patrol unsuccessful. The Navy has rarely informed us that their patrol has come back empty-handed. They thought they had a series of pirates vessels on their sonar, but upon intercept, discovered it was a pod of ghoul whales swimming on the surface. The patrol is returning to port for retraining as well as refit, repair, and restock for future operations, but probably under a different commander. Do it again. Airfield at Eagle Rock. Frederick Van Buren is wounded.
That's a no one.
should save that one. Sorry, brother.
This is Enclave main com. Yeah, that's a no one.
Big pocket here.
Excellent! This can't be right.
Start putting plasma rifles. Secret Service armor. Then we'll start building some Red Dogs. Ring in the new world and let it see the new one. It wasn't just the United States that ceased to exist on that fateful October morning in 2077. The whole world was engulfed in nuclear flame and fallout that saw the total destruction of lives and cultures and civilizations. Even as missiles and bombs impacted DC and Beijing, the entire world felt the blast wave of the Great War, and just as many didn't survive. Now, however, with the return of the Enclave and the restoration of the old world's great superpower, Granite finds themselves at a crossroad. Will they endeavor to restore the old world similar to what it once was, fixing the damage done to it in the nuclear exchange and bring them back from the ashes alongside America as equals and allies? Or will he pursue the Enclave's dream of the United States becoming the world policeman, taking over the world bit by bit until only the one flag flying is the stars and stripes? While ambitions such as Europe, Asia, and Africa might be far off in the future, for now we can focus on the North American continent and shape the destiny of the new world. We can repair this continent. Soon we'll have Pax Americana. I think someone said they wanted to see Pax Americana. I think I'm going to do with we can repair this continent. I think that's the way we went last time. I'm not super big or caring about Canada. I'll just release it. And then Mexico, of course, we're going to have to defeat the Republic of Mexico to retake the U.S. territories in Texas and stuff. But again, if Mexico has its own government, I'm not going to hate it too much. So we can repair this continent. And then I see this naval invasion. I'm just talking right now. We'll do our Northern Dominion. And with that, these guys are still green. Oh, we can't deploy them yet. Oh, shucks.
Enclave here. Why isn't your video feed working?
I need to shift some troops down.
Enclave here. This is Enclave main com.
Gonna meet.
This is Enclave main com. Why isn't your video feed working? Enclave here. Enclave here. I see. Enclave here.
With that, I'm going to take my Navy and strike force up the coast.
Enclave here. This is Enclave main com. Yeah, you can say that again. Enclave here. What was that?
It's annoying having to hunt down these little parties like this.
Everything's always tighter out here at Enclave. Enclave here.
Oh, look at that. Look at that.
Oh, lovely.
A beautiful pocket. All that power armor.
Enclave here. Yeah, you can say that again. Yeah.
Naval patrol unsuccessful again. Anti-pirate cruise. Our northern dominion. I'm gonna throw in seeking allies. So I want to get to the Brotherhood.
Enclave here. Who the hell is this?
I need to pin him.
President? Enclave here.
Been beyond annoying
Enclave
to
here.
fight. Legion and Rainy party spotted again. My lord, there we go. That's destroyed.
This is Enclave main com. Everything's always tighter out here at Enclave.
Here we go. Here we go. Yep.
Oh, lovely.
Wait, Lost Hills, why are you supporting these guys?
Outstanding.
Our bros defeated New Canaan.
Enclave here. Enclave here.
Legion ready.
Enclave here.
I need to redo this battle line. Eagle's Nest is quite the surprise to find what could possibly be described as the only functional airfield in the wasteland. Granted, it wasn't much when we arrived. After asking around, the local settlers and tribes stated that the airfield was created by the survivors of the U.S. Air Force sometime after the Great War. A check of some ancient audio logs confirmed just this. While the air industry isn't likely to be around anytime soon, we can't exactly pass up an opportunity to utilize a mostly functional airfield. What's more, many of Eagle Rock's residents would be happy to assist us in our endeavors, and we will always use another airbase in our march east. In a ceremony preceded over by Air Force members and residents of Eagle Rock, who were granted special status for their assistance in upgrading the base, we have officially christened the base as Eagle Air Force Base. Between their knowledge of the land and our construction and technology, the base has rapidly become one of the largest in Utah and a center of operations moving east. Speaking of the Air Force, and what I forgot to do, let's move this attack squadron forward. That probably would have saved those poor guys that died there. Should be supporting them. Port's Maw just got destroyed. Brotherhood of Steel. We're across the river. Alright, with that.
Oh, lovely.
Oh, lovely. Scavengers return triumphant. Old world extraction and schematics get 15% resource gain efficiency. Very nice. Put all of our troops right here. Lost settlers found. An expected site with our push into Port Mall was holding pens for slaves that the mall would sell either further up north or sell off for food to Oregon cannibals. The task for cataloging and assisting in rehabilitation has fallen to the followers, whose skills in this regard has greatly assisted in our efforts in the region. A pleasant surprise came when their liaison reported that several of our freed slaves were recorded as being captured in pirate raids off California's coast. Well, this was met with elation among humanitarian staff, or elation. The sad thing is, when the members were checked, we came up short. Sadly, survivors' testimony indicated that several of our citizens were either sold off further north, but we can't possibly expect them to survive. Worse, others were reported to be sold to cannibals and have most likely been eaten. Regardless, the slaves still require rehabilitation and psychological care, but their families have been informed and will be traveling north under military escort in the coming days. At least some good came out of this. Manpower plus 147 and 5% base stability. AFN News from the front, the Battle of the Maw. Leonardo Williams reporting from the USS Navarro. The Enclave Reconstruction Authority's Navy has unleashed a devastating barrage against the defenders of Port Maw. Most of the pirates and raid forces, already desperately trying to hold off against the advance of the Enclave's Reconstruction Authority's army, were annihilated in the bombardment. A few of their vessels tried to sail out and engage Navy ships in combat, only to be sunk by a combined force of naval guns and naval vertibirds. Enclave Reconstruction Authority troops are expected to make a final push against the Maw itself, bringing an end to the Oregon pirates once and for all. It's just business. Gain 50 Army experience, and the Maw becomes a core of the Enclave Reconstruction Authority. AFN News from the front. Siege of Portland. This is Rick Green bringing updates from Portland. Fighting continues in the north as Enclave Reconstruction Authority troops enter Portland. The Washington Brotherhood continues to mount a stiff resistance, fortifying any crossings across the Columbia River. Power armor clashes with power armors in the street, while troops on both sides engage in fierce urban combat. As the streets of the City of Roses run red with blood, we can only wonder which side will bleed more by the end of the day. Army experience plus 50%, plus 50. East Portland State is now a core of the Enclave. I think that's right here. The Maw. Here. This one, East Portland.
Watching us like a hawk. Hey, wait a minute.
We take Vault 6.
This is Enclave Maincom.
Let's try this little pocket here. Advanced well pumps. Advanced generators. Take him out at the old bridge. Jump across the river here.
I see.
Try to catch him in a pincer.
Everything's always tighter out here at Enclave. Enclave here. Why isn't your video feed working? Enclave here.
Have a nice day.
Enclave here. Now move it, soldier!
I'm just turning everything on 10. The Brotherhood of Steel, the American Schism. We may be at opposite ends of the American spectrum, but the Enclave and the Brotherhood are cut from the same cloth that is the American flag. While many see the Brotherhood as a techno fetish, one cannot deny that they lived up to their values rooted in their origins, the United States Army. We both come a long way since the dark days of the 2242, with our power rising and theirs falling, with much of the Brotherhood spread out across desperate chapters with little in common with their original goals and organizations aside name. Many Americans are still bitter and resent the Brotherhood, but a growing number wish to return them to the American fold, if nothing more than to avoid wasting American lives, since they are the ones of the few organizations capable of matching us in technology. They can join us or die. I wonder, did we actually have a hand in Mariposa? Best not to answer that one. We most definitely did. Let's do America's Wayward Knights.
Who the hell is this? The president? This is Enclave Maincom.
Look at that. These knights are ready. Put them out at New Comet.
This is Enclave Maincom.
Throw you guys under Archdornan Jr., of course. We'll give him Inspirational, and we'll give him... Where is it? Pain Train. And you're divisions be put right here. Push that way. Go, 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 go. Oh, we can now declare war on them, which will be a few minutes. Details. Missile launchers. Just research that early.
Who the hell is this? The president?
Capitol Hill has fallen. After fierce resistance, Capitol Hill's fallen to the Enclave Reconstruction Authority. Brotherhood forces staunchly defended their position until the last shots were fired. Cowards were shot when they fled from their positions. Both ammunition supplies dwindling. The order was given at dusk to hastily withdraw from their positions, surrendering it to the Enclave Reconstruction Authority. Now that's the capital. Now that the capital has fallen, the war is ours. Naval cruise unsuccessful. Our anti-pirate task force is returning to port after failing to find any trace of pirates on the high sea. A mixture of rough seas, bad weather, and probably the size of the force likely contributed to the failing of the operation. At the very least, our presence was noted by several passing merchantmen who shadowed our fleet for some time after being identified, likely enjoying the security provided by America's heaviest guns. The patrol is returning to port for the captured pirates to be tried in a court of law, as well as refit, repair, and restock, while Navy planners will be going over the conduct of the force to augment and adjust future operations. Lord's Anointed join us. Pressure the Lone Tree economically. Yeah, we can do that. We'll just send out another patrol. Maybe that one will be a little bit better. Oh, the question of Canada. 25. Construct power grids, install police forces. Alright. I need...
The fucking president's watching us like a hawk.
some of you to go there. The liberation of Seattle. The sun rises this morning over a Seattle back in American hands for the first time in 200 years. The Brotherhood's headquarters in the Space Needle has been toppled by an airstrike, and surviving members of the cause are helping track down Brotherhood holdouts. And while the Broken Coast has asked for terms, the only thing we'll give them are more bullets. On to Flagstaff. Gain base war support plus 5%. AFN News. Washington Brotherhood not so immortal after all. We can only wonder what the immortal is thinking of in his seat of power in Seattle. The Enclave Reconstruction Authority Army continues to make advances towards the legendary pre-war city as the Air Force and Navy patrol the cold, icy skies and waves. Many of the Immortal's best commanders lay defeated in a line that stretches from his ruined cities all the way to the Columbia River and beyond. Many are theorizing that the Immortal will try and escape to his former chapter in the Midwest Brotherhood, but just as many are speculating that he will make a final stand in Seattle, protecting his dark foundry, of which we can only speculate what that is. Nice pun, gain 5% stability. AFN News. Broken Steel and American Might. The feared Seattle-based chapter of the Brotherhood of Steel has seen their status laid low as American Army forces continue to push north in the cold Washington wasteland. Frontline reports show that while Washington Brotherhood paladins remain a threat, much of their main fighting force are slaves or conscripts given cheap weapons and sent into the cold. Most, if not all, are shackled with slave collars, resulting in one barbaric attack where a wave of enlisted quote-unquote knights charged at an American position, resulting in vicious close-quarters combat before the collars were detonated. Such is the horror that comes out of Seattle. We'll be in Seattle soon enough, plus 5% stability. Civilian or uncivilian civilian unrest. There is an increased resistance to our presence in our new territory. Groups have gathered in New Canaan and are becoming increasingly more brash and violent. It seems the tension is now reaching a breaking point, resulting in widespread destruction. Intervention may only embolden them or put them in their place. We'll just lose the trading node for a little bit. I'm not crazy worried about the trading nodes. I'm making plenty of money. Purification stations. Now we are finally building some stuff back. There we go. Washington Brotherhood is now defeated. They had some attacker planes. Interesting.
Who the hell is this? The president?
Yeah.
This is Enclave main comm.
Clear up these guys, then we're going to equip the army.
Tighter out here at Enclave.
Control Shift up here. And destroy the Broken Coast. Heavens Gate.
You look.
Declared war on the anointed. Alright, so what we are going to do, we're going
Everything's
to
always
take
tighter out here at Enclave. Why isn't your
Boone,
video feed
him,
working?
and him. Do I have another commander? Yeah, we have a bunch. Got Judah Krieger, Ellen Santiago, Martha Santiago, General John Jameson, and Chief Heshke Nabah. Krieger, she's really good. I think he's one of the better ones. It's Judah Krieger.
Everything's always tighter out here at Enclave.
Put you here.
Who the hell is this? The president? You look.
Split your forces to here. Legion raided party spotted again. All I can hope is that they don't have anything for my power armor, and we can just kind of break in, start pushing really hard against that economic resurgence. The question of Canada. With aid and assistance going to Mexico, there has been a cascade of voices rising from the cold, bitter north. Our Canadian brethren, or in some other circles, Canadian, often suffer through harsh, bitter winters, raider attacks, and the indignity of lacking such things as freedom. As our caravans venture north for better trade and income, they've returned worse for wear with stories of mutated horrors, raiders, ghosts, or they just never returned at all. There are still some holdouts of civilization, but be they large settlements or tribal hovels. The cost of sending U.S. soldiers to pacify the North proved a strain on our nation when we were at our height before the Great War. A repeat of this affair could break everything we've strived for. Several influential members have put forth a proclamation of independence for Canada, turning the lands over to a rightful steward who could guide Canada and its people through the harsh winters, as well as maintain standing security forces needed so we don't have to waste time. Of course, several hardliners are pointing out that Canada is a sovereign American land that was annexed in 2072, and this would be ceding territory to a land we rightfully own. Give me an audience with Queen Victoria IV, or the June 3rd, 2072 declaration stands. Let's talk with Queen Victoria the 6th. I said the 3rd, the 6th. Demolitions, defense, heart attack HP. Better maintenance. You guys can push.
Why isn't your video feed working? Enclave here.
Delete that.
Everything's always tighter out here at Enclave.
Control Shift.
And the fucking president's watching us like a hawk.
You guys push in here. America's Wayward Knights. To reconcile our past, the loss of Brotherhood and Ancestral Citadel and Lost Hills scattered them to hidden safe houses and far-flung bunkers across the waste. As a right, now they are at their lowest, something the president can exploit to his own gain. Reaching out, several elements of the Brotherhood's remaining leadership agreed to meet President on neutral grounds of their choosing, with Granite getting only a few hours' notice. When the location was chosen, Granite boarded Marine 1 with a heavy escort and arrives shortly thereafter. Elders, senior paladins, and what few head scribes remained stood across an open wasteland from the president and his entourage. The meeting was watched over by suspicious knights and paladins from above. The president's terms were simple and quick: swear fealty to the United States, the Constitution, congressional oversight, and its people, and the Brotherhood would have Lost Hills return, all crimes exonerated, and to continue Maxon's goal of protecting the wasteland from dangerous technology via the United States. The Brotherhood leaders stood amongst themselves, mulling over the president's offer. The Brotherhood accepts or they reject it. The new American Brotherhood, they accept. New American Brotherhood, the president smiled at the acceptance from the Brotherhood despite their reservations and the Enclave's past hostilities. Word had spread of their actions in New Reno and their restoration in California and abroad. 2 centuries ago, Maxon and what would be the Brotherhood of Steel ceded from the United States. Now the Brotherhood returned to it, reinvigorated and anew. Yet as the president warmly thanked them for their decision, Granite couldn't help feel the stares of unease and concern from some of the delegation, or the uneasiness of the knights watching him. He couldn't blame them, but with his warm smile could assure them that they had taken a great step into the future alongside the rest of the modern post-war world. We promote the exchange of ideas, or we bring them back into the fold. Oh, it does the same thing. Where is it? Yeah, promote exchange of ideas. The American Brotherhood Reclamation. While Lost Hills may have been the birthplace and epicenter of the Brotherhood of Steels, each chapter operated semi-independently to a mixed batch of success. From the soaring accomplishments of the Midwest and Texas to the sad stories of Mojave and Maxon chapters, then of course there are horrors that came out of Seattle with the Washington Brotherhood. Though it's more the fact that these chapters are free to interpret their own laws, codex, and values in a whim puts a danger on American citizens, both within our border and out. By special act of Congress, the American Brotherhood will work to reunite the chapters and bring them in line with the views of both the American people and the American Brotherhood, to protect Americans and by extent humanity from the dangers of technology, but also not lose sight of the value of life as a result. Why wait? What awaits us, we shall see. And then we get our band of brothers. So we'll just do that real quick.
Enclave here.
Okay, so
Enclave
take
here.
you. They pushed far enough that we can just make one. You stupid Lord Anointed getting attacked. Not their fault, but slightly annoying. And my power armor's pushed across the water. Heaven's Gate is called. Oh my word. Kaiser's Legion's a part of their Legion of Hades.
Oh, lovely.
I need to go.
Why isn't your video feed working? Excellent.
Legion landing party spotted. Oh, this is not good. Oh, they put me in a bad spot. I don't think they can join the war against us, though, because of the treaty we have. But this is, oh, not so good. The fall of Heaven's Gate. The Holy Crusade against the Enclave Reconstruction Authority has proven too much for the Heaven Gates to handle, with their capital of the Steam fallen earlier today. After a grisly campaign, the carcasses of both the faithful and their creation, born of steam, littered the promised land, creating a trail that led all the way to the broken gates of the cathedral and the ransacked city itself. Finally, the city was intense as every able-bodied man, woman, and child was ordered by the clergy to give their lives for the Archangel's vision of a promised world. The Enclave Reconstruction Authority forces have been involved in bitter urban fighting as they fought uphill to reach the citadel at the top of the mountain, and city rested upon it, with each city block heavily contested by heavily entrenched infantry and civilian militia. For once in decades, the smoke coming from the city was not a call for mass. As we took the gate, and God saw that it was good. Nuka Land's opening day. After years of construction, Nuka Land is open to rad reviews and would be a crushing competition if there was any other theme park in the waste. Casualties from Deathclaw Petting Zoo are within acceptable perimeters, and the Haunted House feral ghouls provide excellent paramilitary training, and the rocket roller coaster is fun. For one brief day, American citizens get a taste of what our nation will be like when we finish rebuilding. Disobey park security. Removes rebuilding Nuka World, which is construction speed negative 5%, infrastructure speed negative 10%, gain 10% base stability and 10% legitimacy. AFN News from the front. Fighting continues through Seattle. Dwight Sullivan from Capitol Hill. Enclave Reconstruction Authority troops have entered the capital of the Washington Brotherhood, Seattle. Despite the setbacks, the Washington Brotherhood continues to mount a desperate resistance, Capital has been transformed into a veritable fortress where the immortal is believed to reside. The Space Needle is even transformed into a laser artillery platform, although it was soon destroyed in an airstrike. Although things look grim for the Washington Brotherhood, it appears they are determined to fight to the last man. It's almost as if they have something important to defend in the city. Gain 3% war support, and Seattle becomes a core. Now, let me get triplane attackers up, monoplane attackers up, and some jet fighters up. Get my CAS here.
That's a new one. Everything's always tighter out here at Enclave. Who the hell is this? The president? And the fucking president's watching us like a hawk.
Trying to capitulate the steam quickly, but I've messed up.
Who the hell is this? The president?
North Coover's fallen.
Who the hell is this? The president? Enclave here.
Nope, not your guys, sorry.
Enclave here.
Ulysses. I'm gonna have to try to get the Aura Bros. Approaching the Queen. The city of New Victoria has come a long way since its collapse at the head of the Great War. Many buildings that were damaged beyond repair were demolished and rebuilt through the assistance of the royal family. Its skies were often peaceful, and its cold nights glowed yellow with the warmth of the fires in the homes and buildings, let alone the grandeur of the royal palace. Even the dangers of the Graven and his broken coast did little to damage the city, with Graven wanting to maintain it for his future use. Tonight was shaping up to be another quiet night when the peace was shattered by the roar of vertibirds with the thunder of jet engines. Many looked out their windows to see a trio of vertibirds escorted by American jet fighters making their way for the royal palace. Within the palace, the Queen's Guard stood by as uneasy as President Granite and his escort walked past and into the court of Queen Victoria VI. After exchanging titles and greeting, the Queen and the President got on what the meeting was really for, the reconstruction of Canada. The President offered the Queen assistance in reclaiming territory as well as technical knowledge and the technological might of the United States. In exchange, the Queen would agree to become administrator of the lands of, or to administer the lands of Canada as she saw fit, stretching from here to Nova Scotia in time. For the Queen, though, she sounded like she was becoming a puppet of the United States, and she knew of the ancient American ways. America knows nothing of democracy. History has shown that. How do I know you won't march in with an army if I refuse this or if you step out of line? I won't believe here, I wouldn't be here if I don't believe in diplomacy. I mean, we can explore that option. I wouldn't be here if I didn't believe in diplomacy. Since the past, the Queen sat back hearing the President's response. 200 years ago, we were friends, allies. Yet when Canada didn't do what America wanted, our nation was destroyed and those who resisted were executed in the streets. I will not be the vehicle in which America repeats those atrocities twice. The President remained calm, no doubt aware of the atrocities committed by the Enclave, let alone the mass genocide that would come under Richardson Sr. Nodding towards the Queen, the President made no qualms of the hand on his blood, nor a desire to see those atrocities repeated, let alone the Queen herself be the instrument of that. The President would promise that he would enact no such actions himself, but could not promise further leaders, or future leaders. However, the shrewd Granite was quick to point out that the short reign of Victoria's great-great-grandfather, which nearly saw New Victoria devolve into raider and piracy akin to the Broken Coast, and why new Victorian monarchs were all female since then as a result. Granite wanted to right the wrongs of the past and make something better with it. It's not much, but it's honest work. Humanization of the past won't fix the future. It's not much, but it's honest work. The Queen of the North. The president continued his case to the Queen. The shame that stained the American flag. The United States had committed atrocities with no recourse, and that culminated in the destruction of the world in the Great War. There was no excuse or recourse that could undo what America had done. The strife and chaos of 200 years, the result of unchecked American aggression. With a healthy helping from the Chinese, of course, but the Chinese weren't here now, were they? But granted, the American president was. Nothing can make up for the past, but he can assure that all Canadians who wished it would see a better tomorrow, and it would be the Queen who led them. Queen Victoria the Sixth could be so much more than the queen of an island in the North Pacific, more than a royal lineage, or she could sit on her island palace and watch the world move on without her, and the president would find someone else to do it. Perhaps old Pete from the Dredgers. That got the exact reaction the president wanted out of the Queen. Your choice, Your Highness. The Canadian Proclamation. Naval Patrol successful. So, if you guys would like to read the success of our Navy Patrol, we've had it before, so. I need to end this war in the North very fast. So, another one. Our band of brothers, field scribes, Brotherhood knights. Brotherhood hardliners flee. Despite our best diplomatic efforts, there have been many in the Brotherhood who have seen that we are nothing more than genocidal maniacs hell-bent on their destruction. When our representatives alerted us that all of them had disappeared the night before, we were worried they had taken to raiding the local countryside. Instead, our radar picked up an unidentified ship heading east towards what was once St. Louis. In an act of good faith, we didn't scramble fighters and sent them well wishes on their voyage, saying we would assist if they went down and sent an emergency beacon. Our gracious send-off was not responded to. That won't come back to bite us, right? Or safe travels, watch out for the storms.
Enclave here.
So we get 4 American Brotherhood units who are immediately going to be put under this feller. Sent down here to try to stop this coming at us. Finish out tomorrow's victory. Cheaper power armor. Do fund the EPA. Open for business. Our Dark over Washington or the Northern Cause. Fate of the Cause, Darkness over Washington. We'll do both of those. Don't own that yet. Alright, up here in the north, we're going to take this power armor division. Let's send them south. Back from the brink, the largest Marine air station on the west coast, MCAS Yuma, proved vital in the U.S. intervention into Mexico pre-war, protecting vital Petro Chico refineries as well as striking at cartels, revolutionary, and the occasional Chinese infiltrator. It also assisted in anti-smuggling operations in the Gulf of California, though this turned into a large role in as most smugglers were long gone by the time Marine aviators arrived. Post-war, it and Yuma International Airport fell into disrepair, kept secured by automated defenses that protected the base and allowed it to sit dormant for so many years. With our return, with Marines are eager to get their aircraft in the skies again and show the Navy and Air Force how real aviators get it done, improve ground attack and ace generation. Quest forces.
Enclave here. Enclave here.
I need all of your forces to come down here. Not there. Ouroboros demands territory. We'll deal with it. God, I hate Ouroboros. Oh. we'll just start losing territory there. Once we can knock out these guys up here,
This is Enclave Maincom.
we'll be better off. But getting up to Territorial Prime, or Pain.
Enclave here.
The Canadian Proclamation. Today, the citizens of New Victoria were announced to a speech held jointly by Queen Victoria and President Grant of the United States. The United States is giving over all Canadian territory to the Queen and her Dominion as part of a greater series of programs for the restoration of what the President said were the Americans' northern neighbor. The President spoke on how this won't wipe away the suffering and destruction from the Great War, which the Queen confirmed, but that it was a start to normalizing relations between the two. Starting today, all Canadian holdings administered by the United States will be handed over to the Victorian officials as part of a reconstruction process mirrored to the United States' own Reconstruction Authority. Let's end the 200 years of violence and bloodshed. Yes, the Dominion of Canada. They're not a puppet. They're an Enclave Protectorate. With that, actually, I'm just going to take 20 of her divisions.
This is Enclave Maincom.
Whatever they may be. Throw them under General Jackson Adams. Pop them here. And finish the war up here while we race.
And the fucking president's watching us like a hawk. Enclave here.
Falling under them.
Enclave Maincom.
I need you to rush down here. Along with your 26 divisions. Then I need... The rest can stay up in the north, but they need to rush down. Fate of the Cause, also known as the Cause, what was remembered as the Northwestern Brotherhood, was a breakaway from the cold darkness of the Washington Brotherhood. The Cause resisted the Washington Brotherhood's tyrannical rule where others failed, holding true to some of the true ideals of the Brotherhood. While they put up a valiant fight, history overlooked the Cause with the arrival of the American Army and the pacification of Washington and taming of Seattle. Regardless, the tales of the Cause were forever kept in the tomes and records of the Brotherhood. Many elder scribes in the Lost Hills wish to consider them the Northwest Brotherhood of the true heirs of the North and hold their ideals to be lived up too long since their ban of flew over Portland. They remain a light in the snowstorm. Their paladins, knights, scribes, and lancers will join the United States. Fate of the Washington Brotherhood. The scourge of Seattle and the dark cold of winter made manifest. Led by the immortal, the Washington Brotherhood pushed the boundaries of science and ethics, sacrificing their humanity as well as the lives of Seattle. Who knows how many were fed to the infernal machines under Seattle? Even our purists who fled north were betrayed and sacrificed to pierce the veil of reality and uncover secrets never meant to be known. Perhaps it's best to close this dark chapter of the Brotherhood once and for all. May God rest their souls, their work is better left untouched. Joshua Graham enlists. Although New Canaan has fallen, many of their leaders have survived and made their way to America. Among the most noteworthy is Joshua Graham, one of the Legion's founders. Graham seeks vengeance against the Legion for its treatment of the Mormons and will carry the fire of the Holy Spirit against our enemies until he stands before his Lord for judgment. Legion of Hades gains base war support -5% and he becomes a unit leader. Killing our enemies is just a chore like any other.
Enclave here. And the fucking president's watching us like a hawk. This is Enclave Maincom.
I made a mistake sending these guys
Video feed working. Enclave here.
in here with no support. Like a bunch of doofus. And we've already lost one power armor.
Just dispatched a Verdi assault team to your location. Who the hell is this? The president?
You guys go when you can.
The fucking president's watching us like a hawk.
You guys go when you can.
This is Enclave Maincom.
Your guys are across, you can go. And then you guys are heading south as fast as you can. This has just gotten absolutely crazy, so.
This is Enclave Maincom.
Try to fight out and try to get these. Ah, they lost.
Enclave here.
Now what we're gonna do is take you all.
Outstanding.
Fall back fine with these divisions.
Enclave here.
So take
Everything's always
you.
tighter out here at Enclave. And the fucking president's watching us like a hawk. This is Enclave main comm.
Take U5 here.
Enclave here.
U7. Go here.
Yeah, that's a no one.
U3. Right up to here. Our bros declared war. We're just gonna have to wait to go over and defeat them. Doesn't help that they decided to attack us while we're at war with a multitude of other nations.
Everything's always tighter out here at Enclave.
So about FEV, of all pre-war maladies, the plague of the wasteland, none has been more apparent than the FEV. What started as an earnest attempt to protect Americans from Chinese biological attacks became a catalyst for nearly every major event in the post-war America. From the Master's Army to the literal plague that hit Utah, FEV has brought nothing but pain and destruction to the waste. However, our efforts in Dugway Proving Ground have bore some fruit, working off our old research to omnicide ahem, cure the wasteland of radioactive maladies. Scientists have managed to rework the deadly stuff into targeting certain wasteland horrors from cazadors to deathclaws. Of course, anything involving requires presidential approval, and the science team is waiting. Well, if you can do some good, or are you kidding me? No. If you can do some good. Open for business. With the stroke of a pen, the president's decreed the resurrection of pre-war businesses, moving to merge pre-war with post-war. Companies like West Tech and Roboco will stand once more alongside entities such as the Crimson Caravan and the Gunrunners. This move was met by praise from many and criticism from others. On the one hand, the return for industrial and technological giants of the pre-war would set America leaps and bounds over any other entities in the waste. Likewise, detractors feared during this would lead to the same predatory practices of pre-war era, as well emboldening current entities to continue their unethical practices. The president has assured that there will be several government and independent oversights commissions and panels to ensure the private entities are following safe and ethical practices, an assurance that won't lead to what became of the NCR in pre-war America. Another announcement that garnered massive support from many of the smaller communities in America is that these corporations will be met with a wide volume of taxes meant to offset taxes for the lower caste. Suffice to say, this last announcement was met with widespread public approval, and anyone who voiced objections was quickly silenced. With every pre-war corporation we restore will receive a minor tax income as a result. Gets open for business, which grants blank. How do we prevent America from collapsing again? Manual labor. I know you guys want me to restore Navarro. There's just so much to do right now. Just a lot. This is good. I've already defeated them. New Vegas isn't a thing. There's no one left down there. Do the Commonwealth Project.
Enclave here. Why isn't your video feed working? This is Enclave main comm.
Get your divisions here. Push you all this way. Come on, Boone, let's go. Heaven's Gate has been destroyed.
This is Enclave main comm.
Perfect.
Why isn't your video feed working?
I don't know why that says the Washington Brotherhood. Really quick defeat that. Then this army where it sits right now will as hurriedly as it can go to meet our bros in the west. Except for him.
The president's watching us like a hawk.
He will be moving south.
Enclave here. Enclave Maincom.
Want you to come here.
Enclave here.
Want you come here.
Who the hell is this? The president?
Want you there. Frank Butler, who's Brotherhood of Steel. Call to Arms. Brotherhood Enclave War.
That's a no one.
And sadly, I'll need to build 3 more rapid response forces because I lost those ones, which was not been doing too great in this battle for sure. I've been losing quite a bit. Let's see, up here, Legion ready, party spotted.
Everything's always tighter out here at Enclave. Have a nice day.
I just want the war to end up here in the Broken Coast. And Air Force, send all of you screaming south. Another naval patrol success. Judgment from AFN News from the front. Judgment of the Steam. Catherine Parker reporting from Idaho. Enclave Reconstruction Authority troops continue to fight bravely against the cultists of Heaven's Gate. The fanatics are reported to fight to the death, with some even launching suicide attacks on Enclave Reconstruction Authority troops. St. Michael released a speech on radio praising those matriarchs of the war and declaring that anyone who dies fighting Enclave Reconstruction Authority troops shall be freely admitted into heaven. Enclave Reconstruction Authority intelligence is reporting a surge in suicidal attacks following the speech, possibly including attacks on civilian targets. Security forces and law enforcement are to be on high alert. Listeners are advised not to loiter around military installations. Gain 50 Army experience, and the nucleus is now a core of the Enclave Reconstruction Territory. Perfect. Do this one. Construct power grids, power all of them, install police forces. And we better just start. How much man? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can do them all. So MedTech, General Atomics, Stent Security, Watts Consumer, Lockreed Schematics, ArcJet System Schematics, and Westech Schematics. Perfect. And these we'll get once we start getting through people. Economic Resurgence, do another anti-pirate cruise, Military Assistance Command, Canada. We'll do that. And we'll do the Northern Unit too. I don't know what that does for us, but troops are rushing south right now. If needs be,
The president's watching us like a hawk.
I need you guys to move here and fight south.
Yeah, that's a no one.
I want you to take Farmville with
Everything's always tighter out here at
your
Enclave.
troops. I also want to push forward. So let's get you going. Start pushing them back. Better service armor. Stent security solution schematics, which we're about to get, but that's all good. Then over here, our forces have just met outside, so
Enclave here.
you can go to your own under Santiago.
This is Enclave Maincom. Enclave here.
We can get motorized. And then
This is Enclave Maincom.
pause. Expand this. Push back to Eagle Rock. across the
This is
river.
Enclave Maincom.
You all push to right here. And
This is
it's
Enclave
Boone's troops,
Maincom.
right? Push to here. Alright. Alright. Wow. The Steam was a really crappy fight to fight, and I messed up on that one, so that was my bad, guys. I shouldn't have sent those power armor divisions through like that. I could have ended it a little bit quicker. We're still fighting up here in the north against the Broken Coast, and I'm hoping soon we'll get them capitulated. I'm not sure how. They're about halfway. We're at war with the Daughters of Hecate and also the Legion of Hades, but the Legion of Hades can't join the war until our truce expires January 3rd, 2083, so it's March. So we need to defeat Gentle de Sol by that time, and then we should be good. So, and then we'll defeat Diana, Ouroboros, and the Arapaho Rollins Federation, and that gives us the ability to do the Farson Traders. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed episode 12, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.